First game, Zhendong to serve. Love all. Love 1.
So WANG Chuqin, remember, he's been involved in the men's doubles as well, and he's won the mixed doubles. 9 hours on court, 16 matches played, 66 games. As for Zhendong, it's a great winner, by the way, that one. 6 hours, 5 minutes. He won the men's doubles with the man he's playing with at the moment. 10 matches, 43 games.
Just that one event missing, the mixed doubles, makes a big difference in time on court.
And
2-1.
the really important thing, that's a great rally, is WANG Chuqin could get an unprecedented triple crown here. No man has ever done that, meaning he could win all the events he's up for. The men's doubles, the mixed doubles, which he's already won, and here now, the men's singles.
So 2 for 2 so far and 3 events entered. It would be a shame for him to get a silver medal in this event after all that. It happened to Xu Xin on a few occasions, actually, once with Liu Shiwen in the mixed doubles, but that was not the Olympics that I'm speaking about. I have an accent when I say that word.
2-3.
He's come out with some intent here, you know, WANG Chuqin.
Well, I think he has to. The first point we saw from Zhendong winning with the backhand is a clear indicator that he is not Ma Long. They are two different players with different skill sets. Yes, they're both right-handed, but that doesn't mean it's going to be the same experience. WANG Chuqin calling out the flash in the front row there. Seems to be settled for the moment, which is a good thing.
Follow the house rules, people.
4-2.
Look how fired up WANG Chuqin is from the start. Will that matter? They say slow and steady wins the race. Right now you can feel that he's got the pedal to the metal here. WANG Chuqin aggressive in ways that none of his teammates are. Chinese national team is filled with powerhouses, physically fit, fast players, but he drives the ball with a sense of fearlessness unlike anybody on the team.
Advanced forward there. To think, in his only other World Championship, WANG Chuqin got to the round of 16. Guess who beat him there? Zhendong.
Let me guess. Zhendong? Thank you, thank you.
Gets into position with a banana flick.
He picks his timing very specifically here. Zhendong hasn't played aggressively on everything. He's played empty pushes, he's played blocks. But here he gets in over the table to take away any chance at a third ball. And it ties up the score.
4-5.
Well, he's 2 up here, WANG Chuqin. He's pumped up, isn't he?
Sure is, has been from the start. He is not going to let off. He might adjust. He'll have to adapt throughout, as it's going to be a constantly changing battle. But this is the thing, adaptability is one of the most important things with all the other skill sets that you gain from being in the weight room and from tens of thousands of hours of multi-ball and training on the table.
A little push there from Zhendong, helping to set up the point for WANG Chuqin.
Yeah, WANG Chuqin, incredible over the table. Watch him follow the serve barely over the top of the net. And even though it's on the line, that full stroke forehand, the elbow far from the body there for WANG Chuqin to get that extra racket speed.
In a good position here, WANG Chuqin on serve.
Five, 7.
Well, he slaps the bat into his hand with real frustration. Don't see that often.
You know, WANG Chuqin as a young teenager, was very vocal, with Cho as loud as almost anybody you've ever heard. Similar timing to Tomokazu Harimoto, but Wang Chuqin, I think, had been told that this is not the way we do this on the Chinese national team.
It looked like he might have recovered from that Wang Chuqin. Fan Zhendong finishes it off.
Yeah, he did good to get back in this point. Quick punch with the backhand, going for the ripping spin. I thought the timing was right, but Fan Zhendong maintains control, staying near the table with the racket high.
Yeah, you can see that. He got to position early, got the banana flick in.
I love this. I love the fight. He still keeps himself here. It's not like everyone has to behave exactly the same. There are a variety of personalities. You know, Fan Zhendong took himself off social media to focus on the game.
Well, that was a distraction for him.
Oh, yeah. Well, isn't it for almost everybody?
I thought some are more disciplined than others.
Yeah.
9-6.
Not to say that it doesn't function, but it sure does take up a lot of time. And he's got one thing on his mind, and it's gotten him this far. World #1 just a few weeks ago by a lot. And then some quick expiration of points. You can see right now 3 points between them. Fan Zhendong trailing in game #1. It's a best of 7. That was clever.
9.
The placement there, Wang Chuqin was all set up in the forehand camp, but raided on the backhand camp. Take a look at this. Starting to move, tough to adjust, still almost makes it, but not quite what would have happened if it was played to the forehand side.
Seven, 10.
3 game points for Wang Chuqin.
We mentioned their head-to-head, so you can imagine why Wang Chuqin really feels a sense of urgency to capture this first game.
I think it's interesting that these two have met in 2 finals on the global circuit. They won 1 apiece.
10-8.
Didn't like that, did he? Put his hand up. Frustration.
We love Fan Zhendong in Nanfei. That is South Africa in Pinyin. Writing Chinese in the Roman characters. Something China's done to make the language a bit more accessible to the world.
Nicely done by Wang Chuqin, who takes up first game.
The World Championships.
Love 1.
He really came hard at Fan Zhendong there, Wang Chuqin.
Well, the points might be the same as the Singapore Smash, with 97 years of history in this title. To get your name on that list, both of these players are going to be fighting like nobody's biz.
1 all.
Yeah, and in terms of finals, Wang Chuqin has won 5 out of 9. That's 56%. Fan Zhendong has a better record, 66% in finals, 25 out of 36.
So bigger sample pool as well.
Much bigger sample pool.
Wow, it's quite a statement here. The man many favor.
2-1.
Have you felt that he's a little bit more reactive at the moment, Fan Zhendong, rather than proactive?
Definitely, and part of me feels like he's still just sort of dangling the litmus test sort of in the water.
Yeah.
Test in the water, seeing what Wang Chuqin is going to do. He's trying to win, of course, but still making his game plan.
Nice serve there, Fan Zhendong.
Surprise fast and long to the backhand side. Take a look here, reverse pendulum. To go fast and long into the backhand with the reverse pendulum is incredibly uncommon.
It's been nice variation on serves today, both finals, right?
Yeah, it's a must, really.
2-3.
The interesting dynamic for me is, as you said, in the women's singles final, game 1 was taken by Chun Meng.
Pretty comfortably as well.
Right, and then it turned around. Now, Chun Meng is the more experienced of the two, so that didn't happen here.
Right.
But it was the world #1 who lost game 1 so far in both finals today.
There's a real aggression about Wang Chuqin.
It's scary to think that Wang Chuqin is still on his way up, that he's still improving. I think to myself, what are the skill sets of the man in red right here, Wang Chuqin? And at 23 years old, he's as fast as can be. He's aggressive. He's got feeling, creativity when he needs it. Fast footwork. He's comfortable behind the table. Not bothered much by side spin.
Similar sort of serve from Fan Zhendong from earlier. He wins a point after a rally.
Yeah, this time it was handled very differently, trusting the backhand on the receive. Wang Chuqin getting a bit more spin. It's a question of identifying quickly what's coming at you, decision making, reaction time, all that combined.
Net 4-3.
You're gonna love the reactions there, Fan Zhendong. How quick was Wang Chuqin, but his response from Fan was magnificent.
World #2 versus world #1, painting that picture perfectly here. Look at this, right back down the line. Xiaopang, little fatty. Fan Zhendong just blasting past to maintain that 2-point lead.
Net
Get it back.
3-5.
Good placement on the serve there, despite the let. Little reminder, Wang Chuqin has victory in Chinese written on the back of his headband. Will that prophecy be fulfilled?
Yep, we are looking some way down the line still in this one. Nicely done, Wang Chuqin.
Yeah, he identifies it early, plays it way out in front. Watch his body weight shift as this spin comes in. Shallow on the table, so he leans way in, closes the racket, and punches down through the ball. Just a reminder, if you've never played competitive table tennis, this professional equipment is tough to handle, but it can create so much spin.
Edges in front here, Wang Chuqin, and a big shot from him again.
It's that follow-up on the parallel. It's been gold for him. Quite priceless so far on several occasions. The man in the lead. Wang Chuqin not only in games, but in points now on the receive.
Wonderful stuff from Wang Chuqin.
It's deadly, the combinations that he plays. The opening attack is strong, and when it comes back with quality, watch Fan Zhendong's response to this powerhouse forehand. It's a big counter, but the arc on it, Wang Chuqin, it just feels like he has all the time in the world. Look at what it means to him already.
Feels like he's rolling back the years too when he was a teenager.
Sometimes a bit of success in crucial moments can make everybody feel like they're in their teenage years.
Let 7-5.
Yeah, tough, wasn't it? With that net playing a part in it. So on the serves, Wang Chuqin is more successful than Fan Zhendong. Points won.
About 1/8 more successful. Pretty significant at this level. Missing a 0.5, but hey, some familiar numbers up there on screen. Still 1 point in front, the second serve here. Beautiful parallel forehand here. Wang Chuqin, dangerous. Again, one major difference for me between Wang Chuqin and the rest of the Chinese national team, let's focus on Fan Zhendong specifically, is the trajectory of his shot. This ball is so forward. Still a little bit of an arc on it, but not quite the same as we've seen from Fan Zhendong in these rallies. He says, play smart. Nickname, Big Head, Dato. Use that big head.
I was just about to say, he's using it well.
Yeah.
7, 8.
Well, now it's Fan Zhendong's turn to acknowledge what's just happened.
Yeah, a bit of fortune here off the net. Heard a little bit of frustration there vocalized from Wang Chuqin. He's been very emotional this game, and it hasn't stopped him from being successful so far. We'll see. It's a long, long journey, this best-of-7 final.
8.
Potentially, anyway.
Yeah, now it's got really interesting here. 8-all.
Fine balance, the boldness. In some senses, even if you miss, you have to stick to the plan. I think Hina Hayata made that so clear this week. That was one of the most impressive displays of sticking to your plan.
Stubbornly at times.
And it had to be.
9, 8.
Again, it's the same people with the flash.
Some habits are tough to break.
Yeah.
Flashers in the crowd. We don't have any beads for you. Calm down. 9 serving 8.
Cholet now from Fan Zhendong. The noise level's rising here.
So shovel serve in near the body. A well-handled receive there, the soft hands of Fan Zhendong, causing a bit of stress in the office today for Wang Chuqin. Goes for broke, turning the corner here. The leg sweeping forehand, thinks he can finish the job, and Fan Zhendong has other ideas here. The Great Wall blocked right back, and nobody's home to answer the door. Report this package stolen, but you're not going to get a refund. Fan Zhendong sets up game point here in game number 2.
I think this is the first time he has had the lead in this game. What a moment to do it. That game in style. You know, yesterday, Wang Chuqin, until right at the business end when he got a bit nervy, he was pretty clinical, wasn't he, against Ma Long?
Well, he's definitely been a confident player, and his head-to-head would suggest that. Now, an 80% win rate, 8-2 over the greatest of all time. Nice bottle challenge serve here, shuts down the Chiquita. So if you're newer to table tennis, Chiquita, or the banana flick, is where a player moves in over the forehand side to play a backhand inside the table. Wang Chuqin planning to do that here, but a bit surprised by that serve deep to the backhand.
Do you feel, Adam, that despite Wang Chuqin having a better win rate on his serves, that Fan Zhendong has been more variable on his serves, or do you think it's been about the same?
It's a good question. I'll have to pay attention. I think in recent history, I mean, I have been. There's just so much to take in. I think Fan Zhendong recently has varied it up more. But here we saw a similar response. This is common. Lin Winru, the silent assassin, loves to play this bottle challenge serve. And left-handed players do it more commonly than right, but I think a right-handed player, as soon as they see a lefty, should feel more comfortable to serve long to the backhand. Until they punish you for it, just make the opponent uncomfortable. This is bold. This is gutsy play from the baseline of the table. Wang Chuqin, I thought he didn't have this option. It seemed like the type of ball you would have to push, but he had other plans for it, getting the attack from the baseline. Tough to describe how bold that was, but that could have been the end of his racket or his hand for that matter. Seen players in recent history have to retire because of a similar accident.
We mentioned left-handers there just a little earlier. Wang Chuqin, of course, is one. And that can often be a little dip in someone's overall success rate. Zhendong is the model of consistency. 86% win rate, 86% against right-handers, 86% win rate against left-handers.
So you mean to tell me he's consistently strong?
Oh, yes.
Awesome. I'm so good at listening. 4-3 now. Wang Chuqin looking to pull ahead this game number 3 to see who takes this 2-1 lead. Again, sizing up the opponent, reading the body language to help him determine what serve to choose now.
Got inside there with the backhand. Nicely done by Zhendong.
You asked me a good question earlier about the service variation. Wang Chuqin playing a fairly standard serve here, a little bit more shallow. Where the long serve comes out and when is going to cause a big effect to how the receiver moves and how early they can move. The element of surprise, similar deliveries with a few different outcomes. Inside the table, he's strong. That backhand, Wang Chuqin, one of the best receivers in the game. We saw Ma Long yesterday having a lot of trouble serving to Wang Chuqin. And it's that shot, that response right there, that makes you understand why even the greatest of all time, the world number 3, would have so much trouble serving to the world number 2.
This is, again, so tight. Murmurings in the crowd. Which way is this going to go? We are dead even here. More of a regulation serve again from Wang Chuqin.
Yep, a look at the man, his knees, one taped up, the other one with support on him. After that men's doubles final is when we noticed a little bit more put on the knees.
Yeah.
Hamstring as well we saw yesterday. Still there.
Two very, very good points for Zhendong.
Second towel break here. My imagination starts to go. I get a bit carried away thinking about, this is the conversation, the greatest of all time, Ma Long. That's not forever. That is at this point in history.
Right.
And I often wonder, are we looking at the next greatest of all time? In all fairness, both of these players could become that. But Wang Chuqin has 3 years more time than Zhendong to really accomplish that.
Went with the long serve there, Zhendong. It's gone a little quieter as well. Wang Chuqin, of course, he's trailing at the moment. Crowd amused by a young member, a young fan.
Who said something absolutely hilarious that I didn't hear.
Nice comeback here from Wang Chuqin.
And he's still going to have that guarded optimism, this focus. I think even if he wins the next point, let's see. Sometimes after a long comeback, tying it up isn't enough to really celebrate. Stepping in front, that's when you can really sort of make it known how you feel. Let's see, though. This one's been too close to call.
Almost not far away, but Zhendong wins a point.
If he can keep Wang Chuqin behind the table, it's not going to finish the rally immediately, but it'll definitely help him to control the point. Look how low he gets here. Fan Zhendong. This is not the first time we've seen Fan bend that far to the backhand side and still pop right back up for one more shot.
Again, just edges in front, and a little bit of frustration being shown by Wang Chuqin.
Not the first time we've seen it from him so far in this match. He's been incredibly humble. He's matured so much in recent years, Wang Chuqin. The emotion right now could definitely change things a bit. It's tough to be your normal self under extraordinary circumstances.
Now he sets up 3 game points, Fan Zhendong.
In some senses, I guess the whole idea of extraordinary circumstances to begin with is not to be your ordinary self. It's to have extraordinary quality in your game, to bring out that next level. This is the biggest test of 2023. Wang Chuqin had a big test against Shunsuke Togami in Chengdu, down 4-9. But this is a different beast on the other side of the table, the world #1 with 3 game points.
Well, that's what the fans want to see.
Love 1.
First point on the board in game 4 for Fan Zhendong. Wins this one, he really sets himself up. Great position he'll be.
One all. One, 2.
Deep shot there from Wang Chuqin. Fan Zhendong going long. And he returns a favor here, Fan Zhendong.
Let's take another look at this. Backhand over the forehand side from baseline, but because it's from baseline, Fan Zhendong has that much more time. Just a little bit more predictability there, and he maintains a bit of momentum with 6 of the last 8 points. World #1, Fan Zhendong.
Oh, an even better rally. Wang Chuqin was up against it.
Back against the barriers, not afraid to play the backhand from the deep court here. This is the rally of the day for me so far. Lob, full 360 there, turns his back to the table. But does that stop him? No. Does he lose his destination here? GPS right back on track, the counters, and he sends in these heat-seeking missiles from the backcourt to finish the point. That sets him up with a 1-point lead in what could be the pivot point in this match.
Well, I'll tell you what, this is really rip-roaring. He knows Wang Chuqin, again, similar to where we were with Chen Meng and Suning Shah, doesn't want to have to work so hard at 3-1 down. Got to try and win this one. Look at that. He's wincing in frustration.
You know, he came out there confidently in that point. I felt like we were going to see a major shift in momentum once again, but Fan Zhendong had the answers to nip this momentum shift at the bud.
4-3.
What some fantastic rallies these two have already put up for us. Let's hope there's more of that to come. Got the banana flick in early, Wang Chuqin, but to no avail.
Zhendong is so well balanced right now at the back of the table. He knows that it's most likely to come back across court. Little look here, 12 of the last 16 points to Zhendong. Going the other way this time over the table, Wang Chuqin spraying it wide with the backhand. Way out in front, really extending there to take it a little bit earlier and add that time pressure.
It was all set up with that serve, wasn't it, from Wang Chuqin?
Well, it definitely helped. It definitely gave him the chance, but he had to play smart here. He didn't go for power, he went for placement. Lets the arm drag behind, spins it wide to the forehand side, down the line there, and Zhendong immediately on the chase.
Off the edge.
And if you're newer to table tennis, that means it's Zhendong's point. All it has to do is touch the playing surface, which is the top surface at all, and from where he just hit the ball, it could not have touched the side with that trajectory. At least without touching the top, that is, which is all that's required.
Yeah, I knew he couldn't do much with that, did he? He was retreating Zhendong.
In this game of hot potato, the touch game back and forth, trying to keep each other off the attack. Zhendong's popped up just a little bit. These fine margins at this level, that's enough for Wang Chuqin to confidently take that home and finish the point.
Just edges ahead here, Zhendong.
One thing that Wang Chuqin's able to do, both of these players really, is to move side to side and still generate a lot of power. They reset so quickly, but it's always tough with the opponent in position, as Zhendong was.
Let 6-7.
Is that a missed opportunity for Wang Chuqin?
It's one way to describe it. I guess anytime you don't win the point, definitely, but in the sense that he'd earned himself a good opportunity, no doubt. Wang Hao there in the front. Liu Heng. A few others, looks like Yuan Li Tsun in the dark. Got a lot of the coaching staff there. Yuan Li Tsun, an up-and-comer, here as a practice partner for the Chinese men.
9-6.
Big shot there for Zhendong. He's now 3 clear. This is about as big a lead as we've seen in this 4th game.
Hey, Zhao Zihao there in the back. Lin Shidong behind him. Man, this is a fun test for my eyes. I like it.
7.
Well, it was
9.
important there for Wang Chuqin to just claw back some of that deficit he faces at the moment.
That's embarrassing. Zhou Qihao. Sorry, not Zhao Zihao. Zhou Qihao.
Okay, you just coming back to that.
Well, I realized I said it wrong. I wanted to quickly correct it. But yeah, 2 points between them here. 2 big serves, a chance to tie it up for Wang Chuqin.
8-9.
I've used this word before, but that was dismissive.
Definitely a bittersweet moment for the world of table tennis.
That's a great point there from Wang Chuqin. Just very quickly, Amal, he didn't give anything away in this acceptance speech earlier, but there were some emotions in there, weren't there?
There sure were. I think it was something special. Nothing bitter about this shot, though. Not for Wang Chuqin.
Yeah, look, it was 6-9, wasn't he? He's done really well to get back into this, Wang Chuqin. There was an initial shot in there from Fan Zhendong that really helped him out.
And he's fired up in ways that we haven't quite seen.
Yeah.
In this match, yes, game number 2. He got turned on a bit in terms of the energy level, turning it up. Whatever it takes for him to play the best game possible. He's got a game point here for a 3-1 lead. The defending champ and world #1, Fan Zhendong.
Massive moment here in this match. Again, as he's done very much throughout this whole event, Wang Chuqin, and that banana flick, very effective.
So tying it up now, they'll alternate serves every single point until one player has a 2-point lead to ultimately take this game. Serve with the underdog by pretty much every standard. They're head-to-head, their world rankings. It's Wang Chuqin at deuce.
Let.
See what he was trying to do with that serve, but it's a let.
Not a bad serve either.
Yeah.
I think had he not called it, we didn't see the response from Fan Zhendong. He might have had a pretty good opportunity to win the point. So good fair play there to call it quickly.
Just took a little of that pace off, didn't he, Fan Zhendong?
There was some hesitation from Wang Chuqin there, and I think that's exactly what you said. Soft shot, spinny. This is the one to the backhand. Wang Chuqin looking to turn and play the forehand, but perfectly placed Fan Zhendong.
Ooh, now what you just didn't see on camera was Wang Chuqin just pointing to his head twice.
12-10.
And he takes yet another game.
1-love.
This time he doesn't pull it off there, Wang Chuqin.
So if you're just tuning in, Fan Zhendong is 1 game away, now 10 points away from becoming the back-to-back men's world champion in men's singles. The defending champion, his second serve here, looking to close it out.
1-all.
Ooh, that looked a bit awkward.
Yeah,
Fan
hit him in the
Zhendong.
hand.
Yeah.
Which, as we saw from Ma Long yesterday, doesn't automatically end the point. Well, I can't believe that was yesterday. That point was spectacular.
It really was.
One, 2.
8 points away. 9 points away. Fan Zhendong.
The soft spin to open as low as he stands. Again, those quads. Fan Zhendong has been well supported, but that's his own work.
3-1.
How about that? I know he says a little sorry off the edge, but the shot was magnificent. And to underline just how well he's been doing, Fan Zhendong has taken 6 of the last 8. Now, I remember you saying in this game, of the other match, that this could start running away from Chen Meng. There was a moment where you picked out and said this could be it. And I just wonder whether we're at something similar here. Wang Chuqin still has a timeout to come, by the way.
Right, I thought he might use it there. He's still hanging on to it. This is definitely some serious separation, but it's quite early in game 5.
1-5.
Now, it's 4 points. This is looking very, very good for Fan Zhendong.
This, for me, is the time. If something doesn't change here, this is where it starts to feel like it's getting away. I mean, it started at 1-4 in some senses, or you could even argue the end of last game. This is still recoverable. We've seen bigger comebacks.
It hasn't worked for Wang Chuqin, has it? That timeout. He took it 5-1, and you felt perhaps a bit earlier might have been better, but it was a matter of a point.
For me right now, he's frozen in a position at the table that's very uncomfortable. To be punching down on top of these high spinny shots to the backhand side, it's not easy to generate a lot of wrist against them. Sometimes a player will step around, or they'll simply pick a different battle, and he does here in the short game. Wang Chuqin, his forehand is killer, his backhand inside the table is killer. You could see how quickly he retracted his attack. He was about to flick, and then he turned to a push at the last moment, and that surprise factor bought him some time. Only his second point this game from down 1-7.
It's tough. Looking hard here, Wang Chuqin. But we still have supreme entertainment from these two.
Are their feet ever really on the ground? It's just a quick layover for their feet and back up in the air. Bodies in transit throughout this point. The speed that they bring and the testing. Zhendong goes inside out and then right back down the line, corner to corner, coast to coast. Can you see him? Maybe not. He's a ghost.
That's a lovely backhand for Wang Chuqin, but is it coming a little too late, all of this? We'll have to see. You never know.
As long as they're keeping score, there's still a chance. It'll be that much more edge of your seat, though, for the fans, for Zhendong's fans, family, and friends. You can imagine their hearts racing right now.
Yeah, that was tough. It was always going to be hard for Zhendong.
It's very clever play. Wang Chuqin getting the hesitation out of Zhendong. A push from baseline, and then the early timing before Zhendong had reset. This is the thing about the in and out game. It's tough to move side to side while you're moving in and out. That's why you'll see someone plant right before the shot, typically, especially on defense.
That was important. That was really important for Fun because he'd only won one of the last 4 points.
Right now, the grunts that we're hearing, that extra 10% or whatever it is that he's putting in, is what it takes in these crucial moments. A lot of titles out there in the world. World Championships, one of the biggest one this year.
Remember when Wang Chuqin was this scoreline against Shunsuke Togami at the World Team Championships in a clutch game. And we know what happened next.
Wang Chuqin came back, for those of you a little bit newer to the sport, but a different opponent here. If he can do it against world #1, his big brother, that'd be quite a statement.
5-9.
Ding, ding, ding. Nah, still some time to go.
But always nice to have some good music here in the commentary booth. And just a reminder of what is possible. I don't know about you, but my experience as a human, one of the best things is imagination. Just to ponder what ifs.
Love a hypothetical. You know, he wasn't far away, Wang Chuqin. But more importantly, Zhendong has 5 match championship points.
The way he does it here, this rally just keeps getting better and better. And this one doesn't miss by a lot. Well, in that angle, a little bit of space, but it looked like it could have come down. Only needs the one, Zhendong. 5 just to stay in it now for Wang Chuqin, the world #2 and 2nd seed here.
10-6.
Stay of execution.
So 1 point in the right direction for Wang Chuqin, but the serve's back with the man with his toes on the finish line.
Ten-7.
Couple of championship points saved by Wang Chuqin.
It's funny, Zhendong doesn't have a timeout. If he did, he'd use it now.
Right now, right? Yeah.
But what he does have is the ability to call for a sweat cleanup.
Ooh.
Not a bad second option.
No. Just anything. Just to eke it out, right?
I didn't see the table. I imagine there was sweat on it, but
Oh, you cynic.
it does work well.
8-10.
The long serve doesn't work for him. Now, it's getting really edgy for Zhendong.
You know, he was up 2-0 against Cho Dae-sung in games. Cho Dae-sung was 193 in the world, the young Korean who we saw on table one here at this event. And in the opening round of the WTT Goa Star Contender Goa.
Only a few months ago.
Right. Zhendong was beaten the next 3 games.
That's 8-10.
Oh, that would not be the way Wang Chuqin would like to go out. 3 in a row now he's had.
That's 8-10.
Now this paints a picture. How perfect does the serve have to be at this level?
Yeah.
If he serves it just a little bit too high, he's done. Fine, narrow balance here.
What's he going to do here?
9-10.
4 in a row. 4 in a row. Yeah, you're right. He wishes there were 2 timeouts, doesn't he? My word. Zhendong.
This is what we call a moment of truth.
Wang Chuqin, excellent from him to win 4 points in a row here.
10-0.
He has saved 5 championship points. This court, this table, has seen some drama at these World Championships. 6 of the last 8 Zhendong have gone against Zhendong.
And now we're at deuce in game number 5. Wang Chuqin was down 5-10. Nearly a slaying here on what could have been the final game and still could be.
6 in a row. He's now got game point, Wang Chuqin. This is unbelievable stuff.
The drama continues to build. Hope is one of his names, the nickname for him in English. In China, they call him Hope. Lionheart still beating out here. And he's got the serve to convert the game. Can he make a 7th point in a row?
And what a moment for Zhendong. He finally breaks that run. That run of 6 points that Wang Chuqin had.
That roar we heard from Wang Chuqin in this rally behind the table. The most aggressive shot, and Zhendong with a seatbelt shot across the chest. Bends it out of reach, right to the line. That could have cost him the game. That ultimately could have cost him the championship.
Yep.
But it saves game point and brings it back to a second deuce here in the 5th.
Amazing, amazing. Wang Chuqin has set up his 2nd game point.
One inside out forehand for another. Soft touch there, gets the passive play, ambitious from the back of the table, full extension as he steps around the backhand corner. Where is he going to go? Only hindsight can tell you.
Wang Chuqin has taken the game.
Battling against your child in that way, but Ma Long, I think, looks on proudly to Wang Chuqin.
Love 1.
I mean, it's got to sting. It's got to hurt Zhendong knowing it was so close, within touching distance of a 2nd World Championship.
There's so many different ways to say it, one of which is you're not going backwards, so don't look that way. But you're right, it's tough to overcome those moments. It's tough not to just kick yourself inside.
1-all.
Little soliloquy from the crowd.
2-1.
Yeah, it was Hina Hayata-esque, wasn't it, on this table in that previous game?
Wow.
We've just had some amazing, amazing stories here, haven't we?
Yeah, this week has been quite just headlining in so many different ways, really the talk of the world, but Hina Hayata, just MIB, cleared everybody's memory for quite some time.
1-3.
Fan Zhendong is going to be desperate to just not have this go to a 7th. He wants to finish this off here. And he knows he has to be absolutely ruthless to do so.
Yeah, desperation is an interesting thing. If an opponent can read it, really it's like pressure. It depends how you handle it, how it manifests on the table.
1-4.
If desperation inspires laser-like focus, adrenaline, and just this fight-or-flight reflex to make sure you get the job done, extra determination, then please, it is very welcome.
A similar sort of lead to what he had in the previous game here, Fan Zhendong.
He was 7-1 up.
He was.
5-1.
He was.
And that was the point. I mean, there's so much back and forth there, but that was the point where it could have run away, and it did. 10-5. And then just the opposite happened. Are you ever really safe?
Again, we talked about how he was against Shunsuke Togami, and he survived that. He survived another clutch game.
Against the world #1.
Yeah.
And the defending world champion.
6-1.
Deceptive here. Nice change of placement to go down the line. Very flexible with that wrist. Fan Zhendong looking for that same 7-1 lead that he had last game with a different outcome.
Oh my goodness, it's deja vu. 7-1 again, oh boy.
I can imagine people watching this at home just elbowing each other on couches right now, shaking back and forth, wondering what will happen.
Will there be a knowing look? Let's see what he can do here, WANG Chuqin.
2-7.
Good setup.
Adam and I just had a very brief look at each other.
And use that French phrase that we know so well.
Déjà vu.
Finishing each other's sandwiches. 2 serving 7 here. Oh man.
Well, there were 2 moments like that in the previous game where he just about got away with it, WANG Chuqin. It's 3rd time unlucky now.
Right, the 2 lets in the late end of the game. This is a really tough time for that.
Oh.
But they're still keeping score.
Fantastic table tennis again from these 2.
It takes so much work in this rally for Fan Zhendong to escape the big forehand that's waiting to step around the corner from this backhand. That last one comes down, and guess who's going to turn? 9-2. Fan Zhendong just 2 points away. He was 1 point away for 5 points last game.
2-10.
That seemed almost passive in a way, Fan Zhendong. Now on 8 championship points. Normally, you'd be thinking he's the overwhelming favorite here. I don't know anymore. I don't want to say anything after what happened in the previous game.
I'm just thinking of 2005 right now. Let's see. It will not be a repeat. There will be a fight back, no question about it. And by the way, I'm talking about the final with Ma Lin and with Wang Chuqin, one of the best exhibition points I've ever seen. At 10-2, that's the type of scoreline where sometimes someone will lob it, but he's called Lionheart for a reason, and it's not because he can't fight on the table.
Let 3-10.
7 championship points.